I think we're good. I'll go ahead and start because we will also this session is being recorded, so we'll also send out a copy of the recording at the end for anyone who misses anything. But like I said, welcome to Horizon Honors Elementary Virtual Info Session. Thank you for being here tonight. We hope that you really find this time tonight gives you a lot of great information about our school and our specifically our program first through sixth grade. I have a great team of educators here to share our school with you and also to answer any questions for you. I'm Laura Wanstreet. I am the elementary principal at Horizon Honors, and I have been here since a long time. Since 2007, I've been the principal, but before that, I was a master teacher, mentor teacher, and classroom teacher here. I really love this school, so you'll probably be able to tell that through this presentation. I'm excited for you to get to know our staff, learn about our school, um, and to hear about our program. Um, I was also a parent here, so my daughter came here, went through our elementary program, went to school here, graduated, went to college, and is also now a teacher. Joining me tonight, I have our assistant principal, Susie Davis. She is our assistant principal for kindergarten through sixth grade. She also has been a teacher and a teacher leader here at our school. Laura Gover, she is one of our master teachers. Our master teachers are teachers who don't have classrooms of their own, but focus on professional development as well as curriculum development, coaching our teachers, working with students, working with families. Laura, she's in and out of the classrooms every day. She actually was with us as a classroom teacher and a teacher leader as well. So you'll get to meet Laura tonight too. But before we dive into the elementary program specifically, I'd like to explain a little bit more our about Horizon and about a Horizon history. So Horizon Honors is a tuition-free public charter school. Although we exist in the boundaries of Kyrene School District, we're not affiliated with Kyrene. We are our own school. We have two schools on one campus. We were one of the first charter schools in the state of Arizona, and we opened our doors in 1996 and have grown to over 1,500 students. And even though that sounds like a big number, it still gives us a small school feel and an opportunity to provide our students with a really robust program. A small community such as ours, like I said, it's a big number, but it does really feel some have compared it to a small town. So our teachers really get to know not only our students, but our families and see them grow up and go all the way through elementary school, and some even support them in their secondary school. It's just such a unique opportunity for a student to possibly join us in kindergarten and then walk across the stage as a graduating senior. At Horizon, we believe that every child is unique and therefore deserves an individualized education. And that individualized education is driven through their individual education plan. That is a plan that every student at Horizon has. It's developed by the teacher, the parents, and the child every quarter. And it's their roadmap for learning for academic and social success. We have what we call a gifted approach to education for all students, which means we have high academic and behavioral expectations. You will find elements that you would typically see in traditional gifted programs in all of our classrooms for all of our students. Acceleration, problem solving, critical and creative thinking, all embedded into daily classroom learning. Many of our staff also know what it's like to be a Horizon Honors parent because they bring their children here, which really speaks volumes. And for you as a parent, one of your most important jobs is to find a school that fits your family's and fits your child and your family's educational beliefs and philosophy. So as you learn about our school tonight, I hope Horizon Honors you find it to be a right fit for you. So our program is foundationally based on our guiding principles and which are our school goals. Learn, believe, dream, and dare. And if you hang around Horizon long enough, you're definitely going to hear learn, believe, dream, and dare. So in Learn, we challenge our students to go always do their personal best in all their academic areas, gaining knowledge and applying that knowledge in real life settings. In belief, students are they gain their confidence in themselves and the other students that they work with through the learning process. And then as they demonstrate their success, we celebrate that success and then reward them with increased responsibilities. In dreaming, students create their own vision of their future selves through their academic challenges and reaching beyond their perceived limitations. And in daring, students have that courage to honor and apply our school values, which include integrity, initiative, perseverance, trustworthiness, commitment to family and community, pride in school. And these aren't just a character education program, they are baked into everything that we do at Horizon. This next slide, the next couple of slides actually are a little bit of point of pride for us. Both of our schools have earned an A rating from the Department of Education, and we are really proud of our students and our staff that consistently our students are able to achieve above their peers at the local, state, and national levels. Now I want to bring Susie, our assistant principal for the elementary, in, so she'll tell you even a little bit more about our program.
Thank you, Laura. I just want to echo what Mrs. Street was saying before. Both of my students completed their elementary education here at Horizon, and it prepared them in ways that I could have never anticipated, whether it was through scouting, theater, athletics, their high school and working with others, and even into college. The strong work ethic, the teamwork, the public speaking were all things that I've received compliments on. Their abilities throughout the years in multiple settings. So that's my little shameless plug about how we help prepare our kids for their future. As Mrs. Street mentioned, we're very proud of the A rating that our students and staff strive and work hard to achieve. We have approximately 830 students in kindergarten through sixth grade, but it never feels that way. We have staff who are greeting our students every morning, greeting them by name when they walk through the doors, because our students have specials with a variety of teachers. In math, they move between classrooms. We really don't look at it as a singular classroom at a grade level. We look at all of the students as all of our own and take pride in that. We like to have our students not only perform at high academic and behavioral levels and expectations, but we want them to be excited. It's always so funny because at the beginning of the day, those kids are busting through the doors. We've had to have specific assigned areas for them to wait because they arrive so early and are excited to be here. And at the end of the day, when we're calling their names, we're like, come on, you got to go. Your parents are here. Your family's here. You know, they're hanging back to talk with their friends, to talk with their teachers. And they truly love being at our school. We have a wonderful thing, K through 6, called Project Group, where the students look at the science and social studies state standards, but they do it in a way where they're given problems, they're given experiments, they're giving real world situations that they're asked to problem solve, and we take that learning and have the students experiment to figure out how to build a soundproof room, how to present a concert that has a great light show to go on it, while learning about the different ways that light and electricity work together. And while they're doing this, like I mentioned, they're learning to work in a team. They come up with ideas. They have to talk about and figure out not just who has the best idea, but what's the best solution to the problem, and how do we reach that solution as well. Our elementary school, one of the great things is that it's set up in a multi-age setting. So we have classrooms, 4 classrooms of first and second graders together, 4 classrooms of third and fourth graders working together. And then in our 5-6, they're broken up into classes of 8 or 9 different settings, and it mixes and flows as the day goes on. For our first through fourth grade, their day starts at 8:15 and ends at 3 p.m. Our doors open for our first through fourth graders at 8 o'clock a.m. So that gives them time to get acclimated to the school, to get unpacked, to say hello to their teachers and friends. And our ratio for that is 1 to 20. So there's approximately 55 to 60 students in a classroom, but they have two teachers and one full-time teaching assistant. So it really gives us a 1 to 20 ratio. Also, many times during the day, we have a portable curtain that is pulled. So it is one of those 25 to 30 pupil size classrooms. In 5-6, their doors open at 7:45 and their day begins at 8 a.m. And they work extra hard and go until 3:15 in the afternoon. The reason for this is they have core classes. They also are given daily PE and they have an elective that they take every day in addition to project group. Our 5-6 teacher to student ratio is approximately 1 to 30. We have 9 full-time 5-6, fifth and sixth grade teachers and 3 full-time TAs who support the fifth and sixth grade team as well. Like Mrs. Street said, we have our individual learning plans where we set goals and roadmaps for the upcoming quarter. And we have not just the parents come to our ILP conferences, but the students come as well because they're the ones who are living their school day each and every day. They know what works for them. The students, even as young as kinder and first grade, know, oh, I need to speak up more in class, or oh, I need to speak less in class, or I need to make better seating choices. And so those are things that we help identify with the students and the families during those individual learning plans. The students are also able to tell us, hey, math, I feel like I really understand it and get it quickly. Could I be challenged a little bit more? Could I have a harder language book? Or, write a 5-paragraph essay instead of just a 3-paragraph essay. And so those students and the families are crucial to helping our students reach those individual learning plans. We use technology K-6. It is carefully monitored, and our students go through a tech agreement at the beginning of every year, whether they're in kindergarten or sixth grade. In kindergarten, they start to use it to develop PowerPoints in club or in project group. And then in 1-2, they start to use it a little more during their math and language blocks, in addition to a little bit of research in project group. Once they get to 3-4 and 5-6, the students have their own personal emails. The teachers use Google Classroom, and that includes our specials teachers with music, Spanish, PE, to their regular classroom teachers. And by the time they're in 5-6, they're using it on a more regular basis, whether it's writing their evidence-based claim, turning in their math homework, or doing research in project group. All of our students, first through sixth grade, have daily physical education. And I would put our physical education program up against any in the state. When I was out there today, we had long jump rope going. We had flag football happening. We had capture the object. We have, soccer. They do lacrosse in all the grade levels, rugby. It's amazing what these students do. Pickleball was the big thing in one of the classes last week. And so our students really get exposed to a lot of different recreational activities, in addition to being and working on personal growth with their fitness as well. In grades 1-4, the students for about 2 weeks of every quarter have Spanish, then music, then art, and are fortunate enough to have a communications class to build their public speaking skills, working on eye contact, voice, speed, all of that. Then when they get to fifth and sixth grade, they have the opportunity to select that in addition to band and choir as an elective. We have after school activities available for grades 1-6. We have competitive fifth and sixth grade athletics. We have a fifth and sixth grade student council. And throughout the year, there's lots of community service opportunities available for all of our students. In fact, yesterday we had a group go to Feed My Starving Children for a special Veterans Day activity. If our schedule is a challenge due to work for you or just events that come up, we do have a state licensed before and after school childcare program. Um, our Club Horizon is open from 6:15 to 8 a.m. In the morning, and then after school from 3 to 6 p.m. on school days. It's also available during breaks, whether it's summer break, winter break, fall, spring break, and on our early release days for additional prices. And they do a wonderful job bringing resources into our Club Horizon. The students go on field trips during those longer breaks. They allow for homework time, break time, snack, all of that during our regular school day.
Hi, I am Mrs. Gavere, and I am one of the master teachers here at Horizon Honors. I have also had a child go through Horizon Honors Schools, and this is one of the classes project group that probably prepared him best for life. This is a daily class offered to all students in elementary school. Each quarter, students are given a theme and a problem that they have to solve. They apply their learning from all of their classes into this project. It's all very hands-on, it's very minds-on. The students do a lot of critical thinking, they do a lot of problem solving, and it's all about teamwork and collaboration. So if you were to walk into a project group class on a typical day, you would see students either building a project, working in groups and problem solving, trying to find a solution. They might be working on an engineering process, learning something about science, learning about something for social studies, something that they will then take and apply to whatever outcome for a project that they have for that quarter. So you will see a lot of productive struggle, both within the building of a project or productive struggle learning how to work alongside and get along with others. And so that is one of the biggest reasons that this class is such a benefit for the students, and we're very proud of it. The culmination of project group every quarter is called a summative, and it's where students have an exhibition of their learning, whether it is a project or a series of projects that they present to families. They also create their own presentations. And they take their families on kind of a learning journey on everything that they have done and learned for the quarter. And there are just different examples there on the screen of some of the different projects that the students do at various grade levels. We also have field trips that are connected to project group. This is an example of the 5th and 6th grade field trips, but every grade level has a field trip that helps enhance the learning of whatever the students are doing. For example, in 1st and 2nd grade, one of their units is all about playgrounds. And so they get to take a field trip to a couple of different playgrounds and learn and analyze about the design of playgrounds, the safety of playgrounds. In 3-4, one of their units is all about caves. So they get to have a day trip to Kartchner Caverns. And then in 5-6, one of the biggest field trips is called Camp Conundrum, and it is an overnight field trip to Prescott, and it is completely designed by the 5th and 6th grade teachers, and it is bringing project group from indoors to the outdoors in the wilderness where students get to have that experience outside. But there are a lot of great different opportunities for students to have learning outside of the classroom. Here are some examples of the schedule for 1, 2, and 3, 4. The doors do open, as Mrs. Davis previously said, at 8 a.m., and the class officially begins at 8:15. the students all have 2 learning blocks throughout the day. One learning block, they will be in either their ELA, their English Language Arts class, or there will be in a math class. They have writing, and then they do have specials classes, as Mrs. Davis also had mentioned. One of those specials classes will be daily PE every single day. And then the second special, they rotate through Spanish, communications, art, or music every quarter. So they do get exposed to all of those different curriculums. They have recess every day, and of course, that daily project group. The 5-6 schedule, it is our intermediate school. It follows a more traditional middle school rotation. So the doors do open earlier. They open at 7:45 and classes begin at 8 a.m. Students have 3 content classes. So in the morning, they will rotate between humanities. Our humanities class is social studies and ELA combined, science class, and math. They also have for their specials daily PE. The other special is different compared to the other lower grades. Students will choose one special in addition to PE that they will have throughout the rest of the year. So those are some of the examples of the specials that they have there. Art, they do add band and chorus for 5-6, communications, and Spanish. So again, they get to choose one of those as their second special. And then of course, their daily project group.
As I mentioned, the students, we have a lot of opportunities for students throughout their 1st through 6th grade time here at Horizon. Some of the social activities in K through 4, they have a Skateland night twice a year. We have a school-wide event, Spring Fling, which, we've held it in our field. We've held it at Amazing Jake's, at Main Event. So each year we mix it up and make it a little different. It's a great way for our whole community to come together in a safe, very family-driven way. We have the VIP and Me dance that has a tropical theme this year. So that varies. And then this year we started something new, which was almost like a fall festival, and it was Fall into Fun, where the different clubs, kindergarten through 12th grade, hosted different carnival games and events. And it was another way for families just to play and have fun together on a Friday night. In 5-6, we start to introduce them to socializing more with one another. So one quarter we have an after-school movie night. They also do one quarter where they go to Skateland one night. We have a game and Lego night where our student council brings in games. We bring out Legos and the students just play and interact with the staff and each other. And then the big one is the ice cream social and cornhole tournament at the end of the year, where we typically have 48 to 52 teams of cornhole players play. The other students do activities on the field, on the basketball courts. We have karaoke in the classrooms, Lego building, all those things. And it gives the students the chance to interact with their peers, but also the teachers who are there helping sponsor and run these events as well. And it's fun to see them interact a little bit differently outside of school. For after school clubs, if a student has an idea, they bring it to us and we try to make it work. These are staff sponsored after school events. So we have Art Club. Brick by Brick is a Minecraft coding club that's available to 3-4. We have Chess Emporium, who does chess club before school. We have EagleBots Robotics, which is part of a 5th through 8th grade club, and they go and they compete against other schools. Girls on the Run is just getting ready to start up again, which promotes the fitness of running, but also self-image and that positive mindset. Rising Stars and Showbiz are both of our drama clubs that put on amazing theatrical shows and help build into our high school program. We have science club, both for first and second grade, and third through sixth. Science, service club, where they do activities supporting the school, but also supporting the community. And in addition to that, clubs we've had in the past were yearbook, spirit squad. I have a student talking to me right now about starting a writing club. Next semester, we might have a Rubik's Cube type speed cube club next semester. So book club is something that's always been popular in the past as well. So lots of different opportunities. And like I mentioned before, our fifth and sixth graders do have competitive athletics against other schools in the Phoenix metro area. We just wrapped up a great girls volleyball season with our fifth and sixth graders. And now we are heading into tryouts for fifth and sixth grade baseball, fifth and sixth grade softball, fifth and sixth grade co-ed soccer, and fifth and sixth grade co-ed cross country. And in the spring, we have fifth and sixth grade girls and boys basketball. So it's a great opportunity for students to try events out. And like today, I just went to a softball signing with a student who started playing when she was in fifth grade here at Horizon. So it's fun to watch them progress from the fifth and sixth grade level all the way through to the high school. And a lot of our athletes are now going into the collegiate level as well.
So I want to just talk about next steps. So if everything you've heard so far this evening aligns with your family's philosophy and what works best for your child, here's what you do. Here's what you need to do next. So you're going to go to our website, horizonhonors.org/lottery, and you're going to join our interest list. Once you do that, you're going to receive via email an enrollment application immediately after that. And you fill out that enrollment application that puts you into our lottery. Any grade levels that have more interest than spaces available, we hold a lottery for, which each year we typically have a lottery for all of our grade levels. And that new student lottery this year is going to be on December 8th. Enrollment applications must be completed and received by Monday, December 8th at noon. I'm not sure that that's right. Let me just double check on that.
It is correct, Laura. It is noon.
And the lottery's on the same day?
No, I'm sorry. No. The lottery forms are due, I'm sorry, December 8th at noon. And then the lottery will be on Friday, December 12th at 9 a.m. That is a typo. But you will get the right information when you fill out the lottery form.
Thank you so much, Melissa.
Mhm.
So the top part is correct. We need your application by Monday, December 8th at noon, and then the lottery is later that week. That you will receive an email that same day with the lottery results. And if you earned a spot, they'll let you know if you earned a spot. If you didn't earn a spot, they will let you know what space you are on the wait list. Families who earn a spot in the lottery are given 48 hours to accept or decline their spot because we have other families waiting on the wait list. So if that spot is declined, we move quickly on to the families who are on the wait list. So even if you get onto the wait list, hold tight because we do call families off of the wait list, especially right after the lottery season and then all the way throughout the year. We do have give priority to siblings in our lottery. So if you have a current fourth grader, but you have a kindergartner coming in, that kindergarten will go through the sibling lottery first before we have the rest of the lottery. And then after that happens, you accept your spot in the lottery. Then we start registration appointments and assessments in early 2026. So you'll get information on how to sign up for that. When you come in to register, you do bring your child with you because we do a brief assessment. It's not an assessment to see if they get in the school. It's just to see where they are and basically what their needs are. We already have started school tours, so you could sign up also on our website / lottery. That's where you can sign up for a school tour. Our school tours are given by our student ambassadors. That is a very sought after position. Students have to interview, go through a rigorous training process, and complete an evaluation before they can be a student ambassador. So our students will take you around, show you around our school, and at the end, Miss Davis, myself, or the ladies in the office will be available to answer any questions you have that the student ambassadors weren't able to answer for you. So with all that being said, I want to give a little bit of time for some Q&A. We already have a little bit of list of questions. Let's start off with this first one. Maybe Ms. Gavere could chime in on this. What is the daily homework time commitment? This person's asking specifically for fourth grade, but maybe you could give a little bit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Absolutely. Specifically for 3-4, homework is about 30 minutes to 40 minutes a night. Homework comes home for both math and for ELA. And a lot of times what the teachers do is they'll give an assignment to the homework on a Monday. So there's flexibility for families to complete throughout the week. Actually, I think that's the way 1st through 6th grade pretty much does their homework, just for flexibility, because we all know families are busy and there are different schedules with after school activities. By the time a student is in 5th or 6th grade, homework is approximately 45 to 60 minutes a night total. We never want students to do more than what we say is the expected amount of time. And then 1-2 is approximately 15-20 minutes a night, I believe. And right now, I think they have like a bingo card where families, pick and choose with their child something to practice at home related to what they're learning in the classroom.
Thank you, Laura. There's a question about how many students are typically on the wait list at any given time. It really depends year to year. So at this point, even in the school year, we call off of the wait list. So we have certain grade levels right now who don't have, we've gone through the whole wait list, and we have other grade levels 3, 4, and 5, 6 who still currently have wait lists, especially at the 5th and 6th grade level. But like I said, if you go through the lottery and get on the wait list, don't lose heart. We do go through it for most of our grade levels. There's a question about the specials rotation. So just a little bit of clarity on that. So for 1st through 4th grade, all the students have daily PE, and then they have one other special. So they have 2 specials a day, one PE and then their other special. And in that quarter, in that 10 weeks, they will rotate through all 4 of those of the classes: Spanish, communications, music, and art. So every quarter, they have about 10 days of each one of those subjects. So they go through all of them. In 5th and 6th grade, they have PE and then their other special that they chose the whole year. Susie, there's a question about how does lunch work? Would you like to talk about that? I think it probably has to do with either where they're eating lunch or maybe our hot lunch program.
So I'll address both of those. Our students in grades K through 4 eat in their classrooms with their peers. We do not have a cafeteria, traditional cafeteria. Students bring their own lunches. However, we do have a hot lunch program where you can order from outside vendors. So some of the vendors we have, Chick-fil-A is very popular. We work with Zeke's. There's a variety of different foods available. And so that would be something that you would choose to do as a family. In 5th and 6th grade, the students, because we're preparing them for that transition into middle school, they eat in our elementary courtyard when the weather permits. And that way they're allowed to mix freely together and kind of get a little taste of that independence.
Thank you, Susie. I want to talk a little bit about safety. There's a question on here about safety. So our school The whole perimeter of our building is locked during the school day, with the exception of the two office doors. And all of our staff has the capability to lock down the school building with our cell phones. We also have safety officer, school resource officer, through our safety grant on campus, and and the classrooms have the ability to lock their doors as well. What I always say though is that being part of a community is really one of the biggest safety pieces that I could ever ask for, because all of our staff members and our families who come in, we get to know each other. So we know if there's someone who's on our campus who has not been here before. Everybody who comes onto our campus, if they're going to go anywhere beyond the front office, the front office counter has to check in via our Raptor system. So they have to check in with their state issued ID, and if they're going to visit our campus or volunteer on our campus. So we know who's on our campus at all times, and they have a verified sticker on if they're on our campus. So I think that our eyes and ears of our community members, our staff members, and our parents are really our biggest safety precautions, if you will. There's a question about, do we have a library for the kids to check out books? We do have a media center, and our students go there kindergarten through fourth grade students go once a week, and our fifth and sixth grade students go every other week. There's a question about, are there extra costs for our clubs? Yes, there is an extra cost. Our clubs run about every semester, and some of them also have to go in a lottery. So if we have more students interested in the club than we have spaces available, we have to hold a lottery, but there is a fee for those clubs. And for our Club Horizon before and after school childcare program. Laura, would you talk about this one? It says you mentioned there are 55 to 60 students in the classroom. Can you speak a little bit about how instruction works with such a large class and multiple teachers?
Yes, absolutely. So when we say that there are 55 to 60 per class, when students are in their content blocks, the classrooms do have a dividing wall. So they do break off into their own smaller, what you would consider a more typical classroom size. So it would be 20 some to 30 students in a learning block in their own classroom. So that would happen both for the ELA, it would happen for math, it happens for writing. When the wall is open, it typically is more of the community time where we're doing community building, whether it's the morning meeting time, other community building activities, and during the project group class, where there is a lot of collaboration and a lot of student involvement and working together. And as far as where the TA is located, the TAs rotate wherever they're needed. They'll be in certain content classes, help supporting. They easily transfer back and forth, and then they're always there for the community building and the project group times.
Thank you, Laura. There's a question about gifted. And are there any teachers who are gifted endorsed? We do have some teachers who are gifted endorsed. We don't have a pull-out gifted program because our school philosophy is that we have the components that you find in gifted education in all of our classes. So in our project groups, in our maths, in our ELA blocks, so they will, even if a student is identified as gifted, it really just depends on in what way, so that ILP that we were talking about earlier, the staff and the parent and the child can address what that looks like. Does that look like does that look like acceleration? I know for example, in fifth and sixth grade, we have fifth grade math, we have sixth grade math, we have seventh grade math, we have students who go up to the high school for math, but still stay in fifth and sixth grade. It really just depends on what the needs are of the child. And then there's a question also about what do we offer for neurodiverse students? We do have students of all abilities and all levels here at our school. So we do have students who are serviced through IEPs, through 504s, or some students don't require either one of those, but just require some individualization through their ILP, be that behavior support, academic support, because every child is individual. So every child, I can't speak to what that would look like for every child because it really just depends on the child. I answered the question about the rotations of specials. What kind of parent volunteer opportunities do you offer? So many. I don't think we could do this program without our parent volunteers, and it can range. It's really whatever the parent is comfortable doing. We have parents in the classroom helping with groups. We have parents in the class for field trips. We have parents here serving lunches. We have parents here for art masterpiece. We have parents here in project group. We love extra hands in project group. So at the beginning of the school year, every parent fills out that volunteer application, signs in when they come into the school, and they can go in the classroom. Horizon actually has an open door policy. The first 2 weeks of the school year is closed. We don't have that policy for those 2 weeks just so that we can get to know the children, create our classroom environment, get our systems in place. But after that 2 week period, parents can come at any time. You're welcome to tell your classroom teacher, oh, I can come on Tuesdays at project group, and they'll be prepared for you. But if you find I have a day off today and I want to come for the morning, you can do that too. Either one of those things works. There's a question about what electives are available for fifth and sixth graders. I'm sorry, third and fourth graders. We don't necessarily have electives. We do have the specials, which are PE, Spanish, music, art, and communications. But they do have after school clubs. So that might be what the question is about. There's a question about our homework. Is homework all on the computer and our math assignments on paper? Laura, would you like to answer that one?
Yes. It actually is a variety of ways that your child might get their homework. It depends. For example, in fifth and sixth grade, they do spend a lot of time working on typing skills because it is so critical as they're building stamina for writing the longer essays. So homework might be on the computer for typing. There might be some homework on math. That will be on paper or using something like Khan Academy to help support learning in the classroom. The younger grades, kindergarten through second grade, will have homework that will be on paper or just using things that you have access to at home. So if there will be computer homework on the computer, it would be third through sixth grade.
And as far as work in the classroom goes with math, it's a combination. So they are working problems out on paper, but they will also have, especially in third grade and up, experience with entering it into the computer so that they're prepared for those state assessments, but they do a combination of both. We want them to work it out on paper first and then be able to transfer it to the computer. Susie, I think you're going to like this question. It's about, it says all schools have their standards around behavior expectations, and everyone says they have good behavior management. So can you talk about what makes Horizon truly different around behavior management?
I think a piece of that is a good question. I think a piece of what makes us different is a couple things. Number one of the things that hasn't been mentioned yet is that Horizon has been a no place for hate school for over a decade now. And it has very high expectations. No Place for Hate has very high expectations on activities that the students participate in. It's allowed us to really define what bullying is with our students and our families. It has all of our students from kinder and first grade all the way up through sixth grade. We talk about what being an ally means, what being an upstander means. And it's one of the best things to see that in action, our students supporting one another and standing up for one another. We address behaviors when we are made aware of them, whether it's the teachers addressing it in the classroom. If the teachers need additional support, both Mrs. Wanstreet, myself, our student advisor, all work together to help support the needs in the classroom. But I think that the thing that makes us stand apart is our communication and support that we have from our families. Whether it's students, our families being concerned about what's happening in the classroom or with their individual child, whether their individual child needs additional support or accommodations. We really communicate and lean into your knowledge of your student to help us problem solve through any situation we have. We always start with problem solving, finding out, why is this behavior happening? What is going on? Because inherently kids aren't mean just to be mean. Something else is going on. And so we always like to find out what is that underlying factor. And so problem solving helps us get to that and helps educate our students on how to handle those situations. We do have a code of conduct with different levels of offenses and consequences that we do follow and address as well.
Thank you, Susie. There's a question about the male-female ratio in most classes. We do our best to balance that as much as we can. From year to year, sometimes there is a year that has more girls or more boys, but it's not by much. We do try to balance those classes as much as we can so that they're pretty equal. This one says, if we choose to go to a more traditional route for high school, how well do these credits and learning foundations transfer? Susie, you want to talk about that question?
Typically, the students, what we do here at Horizon carries over, and more often than not, our students are more than prepared when they do go into other high schools. But our secondary and high school is very traditional when you look at that. We have a variety of electives, from foreign language electives to online classes, psychology and culinary arts. We have a great digital art and art program, theater classes, PE options. And then in addition to the regular, once our students do hit the secondary level at 7th grade, they have the ABCD. Our students take the state testing, the PSATs, the ACTs, everything that you would find at a traditional high school or a public high school, you would find at our charter public high school as well. So there's not any, and in fact, if you look at our numbers on our secondary side, the amount of scholarships that our students get and our graduation rates are among the top within the state.
And going beyond that, I know we have so many families, children who graduate and come back and talk to us. And the most common thing that I hear from college students or students who graduate from college, they say college was so easy compared to Horizon. So we prepare them pretty well.
I think the other thing that stands out is I think we have 10 to 12 alumni on staff as teachers who've come back to teach at Horizon.
And families who graduated from here who bring their own children back now too. So we really are a community. That small town that I mentioned earlier, it's definitely true. So that does wrap up our evening. But after this session is over, you will receive an email that will give you just kind of wrap up all of this. It'll have a copy of this presentation, and it'll also give you a way to ask questions if your question wasn't answered this evening, or if you have further questions after you've listened to this. You'll also receive a survey, so you can give us some feedback too. I hope that you were able to learn a lot about our school. I hope it's a great fit for you and your family. And I look forward to meeting you and your child. Have a great night.